Accrediting Excellence, the international authority for professional coaching and mentoring, proudly presents Both Sides of the Coin.
How many times have you regretted not saying something or wished you had said something in a different way? Relationships underpin everything at home, work and in our local communities and are key to our well-being and success. Today we'll be getting some top tips on how coaching can be used to enable people to build better relationships. Welcome to Both Sides of the Coin, a podcast produced by the IAPC&M. We're a leading accreditation body and our aim is to increase public confidence and to raise industry standards by enforcing a rigorous accreditation process that ensures the quality of professional coaches and mentors. The podcast is aptly named Both Sides of the Coin because we talk to both the coach or mentor and one of their clients to explore both sides of the coaching mentoring intervention, what works and what doesn't. As the proverb says, iron sharpens iron. Before we get started, let me introduce myself. I'm Jenny Butter, your host and an accredited senior coach. I've been coaching for 8 years, mainly in the area of career transition and life coaching. Joining me today are Majella Rowe and her client, Martha Lopez. Majella is based in Dublin in Ireland and is an accredited life and relationships coach. Martha is from Mexico and she wanted coaching to enable her to connect and bond with her family during a stressful time. Welcome both of you.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Delighted to be here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Majella, I'm going to start with you and then flip over the coin and speak to Martha. Majella, please can you tell me about yourself?
Well, Jenny, I absolutely love people. And because of that, I get such a buzz out of supporting and empowering them to live their lives to their best. And I'm so passionate in the belief that every single person deserves to bring their best self forward in life. And this is what has brought me to becoming a life and relationship coach.
What was your experience of relationships in the past that led you into this niche?
Well, I really believe that relationships are the glue that ties and holds everything together. And especially the relationship that you have with yourself. Because if you think about it, loving yourself and being kind to yourself puts a higher value on who you are as a person. And it will definitely increase your confidence and acceptance. And in turn will send out clearer messages and stronger boundaries to the people that you're surrounded with. And from my own personal experience, I learned this many years ago, and this is how I met my husband later on in life. My typical client, I wouldn't say I actually have one, but I know I do attract people who are looking for love, or they simply just want better connections, or just maybe to be able to be better to communicate, or they might be going through a little bit of conflict in work or something like that. So generally I do get a mix. But I'll just give you one example, Jenny. I had a client recently who was extremely frustrated with her partner over the simple, mundane contribution to housework. So she had 15 jobs to do on her list for the week and he had 3. So once we got to explore the patterns, the language she was using, maybe look at some of her old beliefs, she got to see things as well from a different perspective, because maybe she realized that her partner was behaving the way he would always have behaved. So once we got to see this, we got new techniques in place and she started to work out a different balance over balancing out the jobs.
At the end of that, how did she describe her relationship?
With herself or with her partner?
With both.
She began to see that what she was doing was not what she really thought she was doing, because once she saw where he was coming from, it kind of turned the whole technique around, because she got to change her language in what she was using. That's what made the whole difference to the actual relationship, because she got to realize that she was doing stuff because she was used to doing it, I suppose, and that's what she felt she was expected to do it. But once she got to change it around a little bit and look at it from a different angle, she was able to speak differently to her partner. And therefore, he started coming forward to contribute to the chores in a much more loving and kind way.
Just a follow-up question on that, Majella. There's always a lot of emotion involved when it comes to relationships. So in the instance of this particular client of yours, how did you enable her to understand the truth of the situation?
Well, the truth was when she started looking back on herself first, because everything starts with you, right? And once you see where you're coming from, because you've got a view of the world in how it should be, and you've got high expectations maybe of the way things should be. But when she got to realize that, it's not always going to be her way. And again, as I mentioned, once the language changed and she got a deeper understanding of how she could change it, that's what made a huge difference in this particular situation. And I'll just give you an example, Jenny. Take the word you, right? You said, you promised, you did. And if you change that to I felt really upset, or I was really disappointed when, that one word can actually transform your relationship because it removes the threat or attack to the person. And this applies in all areas of your relationships, whether it's your partner, your children, or whoever. Becoming aware and how you speak is what makes a huge difference in any relationship.
That's a really great top tip and example. Thank you so much. So what other top tips have you got for us as coaches so we can improve our best practice in this area?
Okay, well, my first tip I think that was really, really good is knowing, loving, and respecting yourself is the ultimate to having meaningful relationships because everything starts with you. My second tip is to take ownership and responsibility for your life because this way you get to feel powerful within and in charge of what it is that you want to achieve. And my third tip is to go after what you want and stop waiting for permission from others to bloom and to flourish. Life is happening right now. And by doing and applying these tips, I can guarantee you your life will change. And this way, you get to be ready for love when it comes along and strong enough to let it go if you need to walk away.
And just following up on those top tips, have you got any more tangible examples, such as the great example of the you and I, that we can apply to ourselves or we can pass on to our clients?
There's another technique that I would use a lot, and that would be the 4 words, right? When you're addressing a situation, for example, you've noticed and you've observed something, your thoughts around it, how you feel about it, and what your needs are. And again, this is an example of taking away the you and putting in the I, where I noticed you came home late for the last 3 nights. And I'm feeling a little bit disappointed or upset as to what's going on. And I'm thinking that maybe you're having an affair. And I need to know what's going on. So that's a very different way of approaching saying to your partner when he comes in, or your husband saying, where were you? You're late again last night. Are you having an affair? So there's 2 very different ways that you can actually address and approach a situation.
Thank you, Majella. That's really great. Let me flip over the coin now and speak to Martha. Martha, please tell me about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Martha Lopez. I am Mexican. I have lived abroad for 8 years, and I am full-time mom. And yes, I am passionate about community work.
And what made you want coaching?
Well, I was having a hard time, a really challenging time. A lot of things was happening in my life. I was moving again, country to country, and I was moving, home and all these challenges that are coming from a moving, and obviously my relationship with my family was suffering. So I need someone to offer me a guide to help me to see things differently and to achieve my dreams at some point.
And why did you choose Majella to be your coach?
I was attending a workshop with another amazing woman, and Majella was there. And since the moment I met her, I recognized in her this kind of objective third party that I needed to point things out and to help me out with my life. So I think it was a kind of a chemistry when you feel safe, comfortable with another person. So that was the reason I chose Majella.
Thank you. And what was your experience of relationship coaching with Majella?
She has offered me continuously a fresh perspective on why maybe I haven't been able to achieve my dreams, and how I haven't been able to communicate better with my husband or with my daughter. She has supported me to empower again in my life and to see what things are or were holding me back. Um, she has been right by my side, step by step, to ensure that I see things through.
When you implemented some of the examples that she gave before, such as the you and I, how did you feel when you did that for the first time?
Wow, it's an awake moment, you know. It's a new perspective. It's a self-awareness about what am I doing, or why am I doing these kind of things, and why the other person is responding like this. Why is this kind of situation trigger a lot of things in myself that I didn't know how to react.
And what have your family said about the change in you since you started your coaching?
They have been able to see a new me or the old me. My life has been better. My family, they have been support me a lot because I was able to communicate better with them. I has what been able to see and to say things clearly. So um, they are really really grateful with the work I am doing with Majella.
That's really wonderful. Have you got a story you can tell us, something specific about how something has changed within your family?
It's basically communication with my husband. So my family just consists in my husband and my daughter. So when I'm moving, in the last moving that I have a lot of emotions. I didn't know how to manage them, and I find myself really angry with the situation. You know, I was, oh my God, why did I need to package again? Why do I need to clean this house again? And this now there are like clear thoughts, but at the moment I didn't know what was happening, so I was just reacting. You know, I was just throwing stuff and glaring or staring at my husband with this kind of killer eyes. I didn't communicate any of these concerns to him or to my daughter, no. Um, so at some point I was talking with Majella, and then with this kind of deep listening, I was start to listen myself. So, oh my God, I know what is happening. So I start to get these clarifications and then these kind of points to say to them, and after that the moving was really soft and not rough.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Given your experience with using Majella as a coach and the journey she took you on, what do you think other relationship coaches need to know to make sure that they're the best that they can be for their clients?
Basically, deep listening. You need to help your client to focus on getting through the day first, and then uh, moving closer to your dreams. You need to help your client to not to feel alone. Yeah, that's all that my experience has been with Majella. I feel support, I feel accompanied, I feel her by my side, and I have been better since then.
What a great discussion. Thank you so much, Majella and Martha. If you would like coaching with Majella, then she can be contacted via LinkedIn, search for Majella Rowe, Relationships Coach, or on Facebook at Majella, the Relationship Coach. We're confident that anyone who attains an international authority for professional coaching and mentoring accreditation will be among the very best that the profession has to offer. So, If you're someone who's interested in having some coaching or mentoring and want to find an accredited coach, mentor or training provider, or if you're a professional who's interested in becoming accredited, then please go to our website, coach-accreditation.services. And finally, if there's a topic that you would like me to cover on future episodes of Both Sides of the Coin, then I would love to hear from you. My email, jenny.podcast@coach-accreditation.services. Bye for now.